Greetings, Mike Koplitz here with you with Bible Interact, and it's great to be here to talk about discovering biblical treasures, where together we're going to take a look at a passage of Scripture, and today we're going to look at Lamentations, chapter 1, 1 through 6, and discover the gems that God has in these Scriptures waiting for us to find. A couple things I do want to say about our process here is, first let me say the Greek way of teaching. I know for some of you, you've heard this before, but those who are new to this, I would like to give you the chronology of the first temple destruction, and this includes the city of Jerusalem, which occurs in 587 BCE. Many years before that, 609, we end up with Joachim, who becomes the king of Judah. And what I've done here, and I'm on the slide, you can see that I found the biblical reference. This is where things really start getting bad. You have to remember that Judah became what we call a vassal state of the Assyrian Empire. The Assyrians destroyed the northern kingdom, but when they came to the southern kingdom, Hezekiah capitulated. They paid tributes. They were part of the empire. They were kind of like the South Gate, if you will. And as long as that occurred, everything was good. Babylon did conquer the Assyrians. They take over their empire. And here we have Joachim in 609 or so saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to pay this tribute. So in 605, Nebuchadnezzar, who was king of Babylon, he conquers Judah. He comes down and he kind of beats them up a bit. Doesn't destroy Jerusalem or the temple, but he does remove several of the gold artifacts. Not sure exactly which. You can see that here. This is a Daniel passage. In 598, we have a new king, and he reigns for 3 months. Because Nebuchadnezzar exiles a bunch of the people, about 10,000 or so people are exiled. They're mainly Torah sages, they're priests. Ezekiel, we believe, since Ezekiel was writing from Babylon, was one of the captors. More than likely, this is when Jeremiah got out of Jerusalem, but we're really not sure about that. In 598, Zedekiah becomes king. And then finally, in 587, the first temple is destroyed. It actually stood for 410 years, which is kind of nice. What we'd like to do now is look at the passage that we're looking at and see if there's some questions that we can ask, bearing in mind that I'm going to be giving you my opinions, my thoughts behind it. You may have other ideas of what these things mean, but we're going to look at a lot of the symbolism. And a lot of the symbolism I'm going to be giving you applies everywhere in the Scripture. Of course, you start out with, what city is this? So you have Lamentations 1:1. So what city? Well, we're talking about the city of Jerusalem. Jeremiah is crying over the city. He's crying over the loss of the temple. And then he gets to the second verse, and in the English it says, she weeps bitterly. Now you can see in this slide, off to your left, I have placed the Hebrew. And I bring this up because if you really want to understand the Scriptures, you really need to have some inkling or some idea of the languages. Hebrew in the what we would call Old Testament church, we like to call them the Hebrew Scriptures, and Greek for the Christian or the New Testament Scriptures. It helps you in understanding things the English doesn't show. Because here it says she weeps bitterly. But those first two words that you see in the Hebrew is, by the way, if you're not sure, is read right to left. Those two words are the verb to weep. The first one is past tense. The second one is future tense. The English does not show that. So Jeremiah, this is what the sages will tell you.